This challenge Dad and I are taking on is unlike anything you've seen before. Because across Europe there are 13 trophies up for grabs for us to win, 11 different league titles, a Europa League and the Champions League. But here's the catch, once one of us wins a trophy, the other one can no longer win the same one. Therefore, the eventual winner would be the first to win 7 different trophies before the other. Out of all the league and nations available, we begin this challenge as well in Austria. More specifically, with Rapid and Austria Vienna, 2 rival clubs whose league is being dominated now by Red Bull Salzburg recently. And one final rule is that we cannot leave Austria until the Austrian Bundesliga is won by one of us. So with our race to 7 scorecard set, let's crack on with season number 1. And right away, Dad's system speaks for itself simply because of the amount of strikers that he has got at his disposal. He's also lining up some free transfers to add to his team, and both are some defensive-minded midfielders. I've decided to set up a 4-4-1-1 formation, and in my squad there are a few noticeable names that I recognise. As the season approached though, Dad already had his work cut out with Red Bull Salzburg in the first fixture, who of course are odds-on favourites to lift the title again. And let's just say that this match could have gone a lot better for Dad against the current champions, as they welcomed into the league with a nice little 4-0 loss. My match wasn't much better, and even though we weren't against one of the bigger sides in Austria, we still failed to score and lost 1-0. Soon after though, we clashed against each other, and with these two sides being big rivals, it was a massive game and certainly an entertaining one, as I come away with a 3-2 away win. So strap in for a new adventure as we race against each other to win the 7 trophies. Yes, Dad, this is the race to 7.
Yes.
A little bit of a different concept that we have cooked up here. As you can see, we've got these leagues in front of us. That is 11 different leagues, but we're also going to count the Europa League and the Champions League as 2 trophies we are to try and win. But, as we've stated in the rules, once you've won one, the other person cannot win one. And we're also starting things off in lovely Austria, where neither of us can leave Austria until one of us is lifting the league title. So no cups, domestic cups that we're worried about. It's just league titles, Europa League and Champions League. But we're starting off in Austria.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
Exactly. So there's 13 trophies up for grabs. Yep. The race to 7 means that once you've won 7, the other person can only win 6, which means you win overalls. Best of 13, race to 7. But of course, being in Austria, we are the 2 Vienna sides that you can see, Austria and Rapid. I am Austria, you are Rapid.
Yeah.
But not his pace, not the pace. That's the team he is.
Never Rapid.
We have also got this team in the league.
They're going to cause us the problems, aren't they?
And this, yeah, they do. They cause you a lot of problems, because if you're looking at the past winners, it's been a long time since somebody outside of Salzburg has won it, and that was actually my team in 2013. So here we go. This is going to be a lot of fun, isn't it? From when they burst onto the scene.
How quick we hoping to do this one?
Well, that's it.
Could be a long
could
few
be
seasons for this,
a long way trying to just get out of Austria, but that's where the fun. Everybody likes us struggling anyway,
they do,
don't
yeah.
they? And that's always the fun of it. All right, so Austria Vienna. I had no money to kick things off, which is always fun, and I didn't actually be able to sign anyone outside of a little free transfer there in Australia. And actually, I don't even think I signed him, so I didn't sign anybody for this season. I stuck with the team that they've already got, and I decided to go for a 4-4-2 with a attacking midfielder, so a 4-4-1-1 really. They've got a couple of players that you might recognise. Alexander Dragovic is a decent player that we've got in our lineup. We have got Dominic Fitz in that attacking midfield role, and we also have Muraham Hoskovic, who is an Austrian 20-year-old. A good youngster. I'm trying to train to beat the offside trap. Right now, he's class as striker, but he's only got 10th finishing level for composure, so I'm not expecting him to score that many goals, if I'm honest, but we don't have much choice. On the other hand, Dad, you have a lot of strikers at your club.
I can't believe how many strikers I had. Yeah, everybody on loan in my team seemed to be a striker, so I thought, whoa, what does that tell me to do?
Well, there you go. So you have got 7 main strikers there in the first team.
3 of them are on loan.
Yeah, so 7 strikers in total. In the club, you actually brought in a couple of players as well.
Yeah.
You've got this man here coming in as a centre defensive midfielder or centre back, and you've also brought in Kenneth Omeruo, who is a centre-back / right-back.
Nothing brilliant about them, pair of them, but they're just good squad players, really.
Yeah.
So strengthen up a little bit of a defence and centre-back, so yeah.
We still had a little bit of money in the budget, but decided not to spend it elsewhere.
Not many players wanted to come. So.
Well, that's it at the start of the season. Players in your team, a few more recognisable names, I think. Deandre Beljo, who of course is on loan from Augsburg, really good striker there. You've also got Bergstaller, who's 34 and a towering figure in himself. But in the midfield, you've got Lewis Schorb and Oswald. Maybe a couple of guys recognise those players there. Setkovic at the back, I think, is quite a recognisable Serbian player.
Yeah.
But in goal, everybody knows who's been playing Football Manager. Nicholas Hedel is your goalkeeper. So it'll be a good task to try and keep hold of him until you win the league.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, just keeping hold of him is easier than buying another one, isn't it? So
yeah. For that quality.
That's all I need to do.
He's also Austrian and only 22.
I'm getting used to this, not buying goalkeepers.
Well, yeah, that's it. So, to kick things off at the start of the season, we have, of course, played each other, and I've even got the win over Dad already. But victories against each other doesn't count for anything other than the fact that you're stopping them from potentially gaining points to win the league.
Yeah.
You started the season, Dad, really bad.
Yeah.
Because you've already faced Red Bull Salzburg and lost 4-0.
That ain't looking good, is it?
No.
Took him 10
minutes
to be 2-0 up. Well, 30 minutes to be 3-0 up.
Yeah.
So game over after 30 minutes.
Sturm Graz also beat you 1-0 with 10 men. So at the start of the season, it's not been great. You've only picked up one win and a win in the cup as well. Tricky this, isn't it?
I've got 3 strikers up here and they're not doing anything.
This must be the first time you've played in Austria.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. It hasn't been my first, but it's been a while anyway. Now, this league does go into 2 different, kind of like Belgium, where it goes into a championship group. My schedule, I have also had a bad start too, because where Dad is in 10th, I'm in 9th. I've lost at the start of the season here to a team I should not be losing to. Then only 1-0 to Salzburg, which wasn't too bad. Beat Dad, which seems to be my only good result, other than Wolfsburg a win as well, because I also lost to Sturm Graz and got knocked out of the Europa Conference League all in one go. Not that that obviously is a competition we're going for, the Europa Conference League, but the money is kind of what I was thinking in my head to allow me, because they have no money, to sign players next season, because right now my balance is really low and I only have, well, a massive amount of debt, and I only have 25% of any transfer revenue brought into the club already in season 1.
That's not good, is it?
Talk about having an advantage you've got on me there, Dad. But as I said, the league does split into 2 because there's only 12 teams. So if you're looking at the rules, it swaps into a championship group where everybody will then play each other again. As you can see there, number of teams, times that you play each other, 10 times in that. So 10 games. So you play each other twice once you go into the championship group. So if we both get into the same group, we'll play each other 4 times in a season.
Yeah.
And that is enough to really sway who wins the league and who doesn't. So, season number 1, let's get this underway. The race to 7 is underway, starting in Austria. How quick can we get the first one done? Well, in early December, when we clashed again, this time at my stadium, Dad's player decided to jump in with a disgusting tackle just 3 minutes into the match and get himself a straight red card. And despite actually taking the lead in that game, they still went on to lose 2-1. However, at the end of the first part of the league table, Dad's side is slightly ahead of mine, and with our points being half this season, he is 6 points behind Salzburg. This of course meant that we went into the championship group in the Austrian First Division, and that means we have to play each other twice again, 10 games in total, with each of us picking up a win. And after the 10 remaining fixtures, we were still nowhere near Red Bull Salzburg, who only lost 1 game all season and finished on 51 points. Right, well, as the season ends, we've got Red Bull Salzburg, of course, lifting yet another Austrian Bundesliga, as kind of expected.
Yeah.
But hey,
they only lost 1 game.
Yeah, so we're 2nd and 3rd. You are some way ahead of me, but I did beat you 3 times this season.
Yeah, 3 times, 9 points. That cost me the league.
The stats, though, dominated by your players. Ryan May, who is a loanee from Stoke.
You wouldn't surprise there.
Scored 17. Beljo, who's a loanee from Augsburg, scored 16. And Oliver Strunz, who It's actually your player.
Oh, he's on my player.
Yeah, he's...
Well done, Oliver.
I don't know how he's that good, though. How he scored that many, because he isn't that good. But yeah, your players are dominating the player statistics. Maybe quite an oversight how you haven't managed to win the league here.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But Salzburg only lost one game all season against you. Wow. So they've done very well. Kind of dominated it.
Only not going to beat you.
Oh, yeah.
That'd have been all right then.
Yeah, if you had... Well, yeah, because I cost you 9 points.
Yeah.
So, in the games. So, that's a good start. There we go. I'm happy with that. But, I mean, in the Cup, we both sucked because you were out on the third place. We were both out, sorry, in the third round, which wasn't great, which then just allowed Red Bull Salzburg to just go on
But then we're not worried about
win
the
it
cups.
easy.
Not worried about it.
Not worried about the Cups at all. It's just nice.
I'm quite happy to lose in the first round.
Well, yeah, that's it. So, Dad, at the start of the season, or the first season in then, the two top scorers are two loan signings.
That's my problem, isn't it? Straight away, I know I've got to sign a striker.
Yeah.
I mean, the next one's all right. Oliver, I mean, like you say, he didn't look that good, but he still banged in
15 in just
goals
19
in 19
starts.
starts. Yeah, so yeah, I've got to look for a striker, I think, especially if I want to stay free up front.
Yeah.
Which would be difficult. I think we're losing two really good strikers they get.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know what my wage, but I mean,
you only got 5 million.
Yeah, I'm going to buy 3 or 2 good ones. I might.
No, not really.
No, see what happens then. Might have to go back to 2 up front and change it a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit of tinkering.
Well, on my end of things, mine might be an even worse situation. I did mention how Hoskovic doesn't score many goals. He's only got 11 this season, but he only played 21, 10 for Plavicic, who is my defensive midfielder, which isn't great either, and Dominic Fitz got 14 assists. The less said about my team, the better at this point, but I also have no money because, as we know already, financial difficulties. Just 200k, still 25%, and £6 million in the red. All good over here in the race to 7. So, fantastic start in season number 1. Let's see what the summer of season 2 has in store for us. This summer was tough for me with my finances, so I was forced to sell my left back to bring in some cash. Even still, I could only afford to bring in one player at the minute, a veteran striker in Anthony Modeste. Dad, on the other hand, was having a much busier window buying and selling players for Rapid Vienna. Eventually, I was able to sign another player and a quality centre-back coming in to join my club. Again, it was an early derby match between our two sides, happening in just the second game of the season, and what an entertaining fixture this one turned out to be, with the final score finishing 3-3. Which might be down to the fact that I'm trying something crazy this season with a new system I've had on my mind on using. Although early signs are that it isn't the best system I've come up with, seeing as Basel have just knocked me out of the Europa League qualification stage, which of course is one of the trophies in the challenge that me and Dad are trying to win. And Dad, on the other hand, has managed to drop right into the competition. Well, Dad, bit of a entertaining summer for you. £7.5 million went out. One of them being Oliver Strunz, who we've mentioned quite a lot here already.
Well, I was going to keep it. He isn't that good, really, so no, he's got to go. So
replacement, though, considering he was £2.9 million, replacing with Seiko Koita is a good deal.
I'm pleased with this. Yeah, he's a good striker, very strong, very fast. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Well, I say very strong. He's only strength is 11, so he ain't that strong, is he?
No.
But he's quick. So, yeah.
Good player. I do believe he used to play for Red Bull Salzburg as well. He did. 28 goals in 56 games.
So he knows where the net is then, so hopefully he'll carry on with that.
Ball knowledge. I remember his time in Austria.
He's got 3 and 6 already, so he started.
Yeah, he's a goal scorer in Austria. He likes this place. So, the rest of the signings, though, we've got Carranza coming in from Feyenoord, another striker there.
Yeah.
Not a bad player.
That's the two that'll be up front for me, I reckon.
Koop Miners, which is, I believe, is the brother of the Koop Miners that we know and love. I
could do with him being half as good as what his brother is, and I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he does look quite good. Jonathan Silva for 4.something million. Good left back there. Argentinian. Then we've got Mario Gonzalez from LAFC, 240k.
Another striker,
Just another striker. And then finally, we've got Belko from Zelinka, wherever it is. Zelina.
I lost my reserve keeper, so I had to get another goalkeeper in. And this guy's just as good as what my first keeper is. So I'll let them fight it out. See how they get on.
Okay.
So at least if I get an injury, I know I've got a good one coming in behind him.
Well, tactically, changed it around.
I've moved it around a bit, but I feel that I've got a very good squad now. I've got a very good team. So I wasn't going to go 3 up front again. So this is what I've done, those 2 up front there. Good midfield. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this.
All right.
Could do some damage.
You got some youngsters coming through as well.
Yeah.
As have I. I've got quite a few youngsters I'm keeping my eye on. Jovan Zivkovic looks a very good player.
Yeah, he could be good in a couple of years' time.
Yeah,
he's 18, so yeah, I reckon when he gets to about 20, I reckon he could be really good.
Yeah. All right, let's have a look at the other side of things in Vienna then. I am going wacky with a tactic, but first off, the transfer. Gosh, so much happened. I sold a player for £2.5 million to Sturm Graz. He was a left-back. The only reason why I did it is because then I could have something to bring somebody else in because I needed goals, and I had a backup left-back, so there we go. And the striker that I brought in, Anthony Modeste, who is 36. So
his natural fitness is quite good at 14.
Yeah, but I think he's only on a 1-year contract, so he wants to be a scout. So he's also a scout as well. Like, he's a scout for me as well. And his staff attributes: can he judge a player? Can he bollocks? So
he's as good as a scout as he is a player.
Yeah, far better. And then we've got a backup centre back who's come in as well. He went too bad. So, as I say, tactically, I'm throwing stuff at the wall here. We've got 3 at the back, 3 across the centre defensive midfield line, which we've also got a libero in there in Dragovic who can go into the DM. Then we got 2 in the attacking midfield slot and 2 up front. With Hoskovic, hopefully Modeste can score some goals alongside him. So far, 4 games, 0 goals. But what he has done is allowed Hoskovic to get 4 goals. So maybe there's something in that.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Because at the start of the season, it's been very bad. And we've been drawing a lot of games, including, of course, the game against you, Dad, where we actually chucked it away because we were 3-2 up.
Yes.
So that's disappointing.
I'm disappointed with that.
Yeah. Conceded 3 against me?
Yeah. With the strike force that you got, definitely. You only got 1 striker, really.
Yeah, well, here we go. So the rest of the team, I mean, I've never... This team has Cash Point, which looks like a logo in their logo. I've never seen that before.
No.
Let me know if you are a Rheindorf Alltag fan. What is the story behind that? Because it does seem like some kind of sponsorship deal is on your team's logo. But there we go. A nice draw to Sturm Graz, though. Hoskovic rescued a point in the end. Thought I was going to knock out Basel and get into the Europa League. Then we got stuffed 2-0 in the away leg, which means we are in the Europa Conference League.
They scored a really, really late goal.
121st minute. Yeah, gutted. But, hey, we've just picked up a 4-1 win against Admira Wacker, which is one of my favourite team names. So, a good start to the season. Well, I say that. We're in 5th place. Dad, your start to the season, though, been a little bit better.
Yeah, it looks a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, after the, of course, draw against me, you then went and lost in the Champions League playoff, which you've already knocked out Dynamo Kiev.
Yeah.
Not eliminated by Lyon, but that does mean you go in the Europa League.
It's a little bit better for me, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean I can't see us...
I wasn't expected to beat Lyon, so I'm going to take that, really. Put me into there, so I'm happy with that.
You've also beaten Admira Wacker 6-3. We got a nice sort of 4-1 win against the cup finalists here, who lost in that cup final. Drawing to Klagenfurt.
Something like that,
yeah. We all know and love them.
Yeah, of course we do.
And Sturm Graz, a nice draw against them away from home.
Good start, I reckon.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Well, the trouble is, we're trying to get out of Austria.
I'm disappointed drawing against you because I feel like all the pressure's on me here to get us out of this league.
Yeah,
and if I'm going to drop points against you, we got to organise something that you give me all the points you're going to give me, that I can carry on.
Oh no, because that means you're 1 up ahead of me. So, right. So Salzburg has already started off very well, as you can see. They've got 5 wins out of 6.
Yeah,
unbeaten so far this season. You're 4 points behind them. Yeah. I'm 7. So not a great start, but Europa League, Dad. I mean, Man United's in there, Juve,
Juventus, Rangers, Sporting, PSV. Oh, they're
the
all
Rats are there.
Marseille,
Fenerbahce, Villa. Oh. Yeah, maybe next year.
No, not this year. I think I'll probably finish where I am now.
Yeah, good call. All right, then, season number 2 of the Race to 7. Let's see what we can do. The second fixture between us wasn't as chaotic as the first, but it still ended with the same result. And after Dad took the lead in the first half, Fisher scored the equaliser in a 1-1 draw. However, as the split was happening, I was lucky enough to be in the championship group as I lingered in 5th place. New signing Seiko Koita has been a revelation for Dad this season, and he scored 5 goals against Fenerbahce and helping Dad progress to the quarter-finals of the Europa League. After losing to the champions either side of beating me, the championship group looked like it was a Red Bull Salzburg one to lose again. But there was a legitimate hope for Dad to win another trophy this season, as he was about to face Juventus in the semi-final of the Europa League. And after an incredible 2-1 victory in Turin, he somehow pulled off a 3-2 aggregate win to reach the final and face in Marseille. With the game finishing 0-0 in the final after 90 minutes, it went straight to extra time where Mason Greenwood fired Marseille into the lead. But there's still time, and in the second half of extra time, Carranza finds the net to take the game to penalties. And the underdogs from Vienna continue to shock the world, as in the penalty shootout, they simply couldn't miss, and Nicholas Hedel eventually stepped up and saved Mason Greenwood's penalty for Rapid Vienna to lift the Europa League trophy. How the bloody hell have you done that?
I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how all those teams in it and I'm coming through and winning a lot. I can't believe that. What a start that is.
That is absolutely mental.
That's one trophy in the cabinet. Get in there, my son.
Yeah, you're the first one to put a trophy on the board. The most annoying thing, and you were down to 10 men, the most annoying thing is we still can't leave Austria. No. One of us has got to win the league in Austria. Mason Greenwood missed his penalty after scoring earlier in extra time. Yeah. And of course, you equalised through Carranza in a very boring, by the looks of it, game in the Europa League in Bilbao, which is where the final is this year.
When the trophy comes, it's there, innit?
Yeah.
That's all you're known by, innit?
But, I mean, looking at you said you were going to be down the bottom. Only Rennes was the team who finished above you, with the likes of Man United, Juve in there, Villa.
Who did I lose to? Was it Rennes I lost to?
So you lost to one team, which was Sevilla, who are kings of this competition.
Yeah, they usually are, aren't they? Yeah.
So obviously you went straight into the round of 16 and knocked out Fenerbahce in an unbelievable 7-6 tie there, with a 6-3 second leg as well. The quarter-final was a massive win against Sevilla, 6-2 in that one, knocking out the Kings. The semi-final, you beat Juve 3-2.
I would deserve to go further.
You definitely did, yeah. Marseille knocked out Man United on penalties.
Yeah.
But hey, that's probably Greenwood as well, if you think. Yeah, he's probably scoring penalties in that one and missed in the final. But I can't believe you've managed to do that.
No, I can't believe it.
Who would have said the first trophy in this would have been a European one? I mean, fair enough. We still, as we said, we still can't get out because we are nowhere near Salzburg, who are winning with 55 points.
You say that, though? I only lost 2 games.
You did only lose 2.
3. Or was that in the...
It's both to Salzburg. That's the trouble. That's the trouble. You're losing to Salzburg. And then you're drawing too many, whereas they only drew 1 game. Seiko Koita's had a good season, though. Actually, both your strikers that you brought in.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that.
So you're keeping scoring a lot of goals. I can't believe none of mine's in there. Where's Anthony Modeste? I'm all the way down in 5th place. I had an awful time. However, what I did manage to do was get to the cup final. Which I think is the reason why I've qualified for Europe next season.
Yeah.
Off the back of that, Red Bull Salzburg gave me a Tonkin in the final there.
They won the league as well, and the cup, so obviously
so
one place was available, didn't it?
Yeah. And I also got to the semi-final of the Europa Conference League, which is not bad at all.
No.
I'm quite happy with how far I got in that.
I would have been happy with that.
Yeah.
To go all the way, Christ.
PAOK in the quarter-final. We've knocked out Sion, which all games that I should expect to be winning. In the league phase, we actually finished in the same position as what you did, only losing Dynamo Kiev, winning 5 of the games there, beating Lons in one of them, whereas Lazio only managed to go on and, well, he didn't lose at all. In the final, it was Lazio and AZ Alkmaar. AZ Alkmaar come away with the win.
Surprise. Yeah.
Fair play, Dad. First trophy.
I'm going to take that, yeah.
To add to the race, my top goal scorer was my defensive midfielder, which is a great sign. That's always what you want to happen, isn't it? Your top scorer was 30 goals, Seiko Koita.
I'm pleased with the top 3 there. Well, top 4, actually. There's a lot of goals.
Yeah, Louis Shaw there. 14 and 20.
Yeah, really pleased with that. So, yeah, good season. Pleased with that.
All right, going into season number 3 then, 16 million.
Well, this is what happened when you play well in Europe, isn't it?
Yeah, did you sell anybody? No, still. So 16 million for that Europa League. I have 2.75 million. Wow, I'm not going to know what to do with myself.
You've got a bit of money,
That makes a change. And I've got a plus balance. That's why I needed the Europa Conference League money.
Definitely, yeah.
So if anybody's ever doubted that competition being, made for no reason whatsoever, this is why it was made.
Yeah.
This and to give West Ham a trophy. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
And probably Chelsea this year.
So £63 million in the debt still. Remaining is 40 million, so I've still got a way to pay it off. But hey, at least I've got some money. Anthony Modeste, by the way, brought him in. got a massive 6 goals all season. I know what you're thinking. He spoilt himself in this division, didn't he? 2 in the league. Not 1, 2. Tell you what, he should have been scouting himself, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he should.
I wonder what his scout report himself. That player is absolutely bloody useless. His scouting player ability has gone down, I think. What an awful... And now I've got to keep him along as a scout. This is terrible. Anyway, right, season number 3.
Do you think you need a striker then, do you?
Definitely now. Definitely need a striker now. Season number 3 is going to be an interesting one. Make sure you stick around and press that subscribe button because you don't want to miss what happens next and who can get that second trophy over the line, which has to be now getting out of Austria.
Yeah.
Because there's no way one of us is winning the Champions League before we're getting out of this. Because we have to qualify for that first, and neither of us are doing that anyway. But the Europa League struck off. Can no longer win that one myself. Dad, you've put your name on the Europa League trophy, but who can do it for the Austrian Bundesliga? Yes, congratulations to Dad, who strikes first, ticking off 1 trophy and a very unexpected one as well. But make sure you subscribe so you do not miss what happens next in the Race to 7 challenge.